If you're doing really what you love and what you're passionate of, then it's gonna flow naturally. And I think there's maybe this expectation that it's supposed to flow at a certain point. How do you? It's our birthright. We heard that many times from actually
But
Stuart Little.
that's a false teaching. That's a false teaching. You can do what you love and love what you do and be impoverished. So you have to appreciate money. It's a component, I'm absolutely certain. I mean, I've been teaching this for a number of years now, about 16, 17 years, 16 years now. And I'm absolutely certain that unless you value money, it ain't going to stay with you. I'm absolutely certain. So whoever's listening, wake up. This is not something you're going to be able to violate. You may fantasize about it, but you're not going to violate it. You have to appreciate the value of managing, saving, managing, investing, and building wealth if you ever want to have wealth. Or you better marry somebody or partner with somebody that has that as a value, or otherwise it's not going to stay with you. It's going to pass through your hands into people who do appreciate it. In Tibet, many centuries ago, they did an experiment with money, and they equilibrated all the wealthy and redistributed the wealth where everybody had the same amount of money. So thousands of people now had the same amount of money. They took the wealthy and they gave it from the poor to the wealth of the poor. Mm-hmm. In 3 months, the money was redistributed because the people who value it end up back with it every time, and the people who don't end up losing it every time. People that devalue themselves, devalue money, and are not willing to care enough about humanity to serve and go out and make a difference and work hard for it, those individuals automatically have money taken from them, guaranteed. They'll be a spender, not a saver, and they'll end up devaluing it and devaluing themselves, and they'll say goodbye to money every time. You have to have, in my observation, one of my homes is a ship that circumnavigates the globe called the world. Mm-hmm. And you may have heard of this. I don't know. I may have mentioned this.
Yes, I have.
And on there are 18 billionaires that live on there. And I've interviewed these individuals, and I've met quite a number of billionaires now. And one thing I'm certain about is those people that have billions appreciate those three things. And the people that don't have, and they're impoverished, don't. They're not focusing on serving vastly numbers of people. They're not saving any portion of their money and paying themselves first. And they're not valuing money. Because if they did, they would not be in poverty. I guarantee it. Now, I've also gone to townships in Africa where they have a lot of poverty. And I guarantee you, if you actually determine the values of those individuals versus the people on the ship, you see a vast difference. They have a high value on a completely different set of values in life. Maybe family, maybe social causes, maybe altruism, spirituality, whatever they perceive spirituality to be, and they don't have a value on saving money.
But this
and when
the
I
energy,
say,
yeah, sorry.
In order to have a value on money, you can't just say, oh, I would love to have money so I can buy this, so I can buy this, so I can buy this. That's not a valuing money. That's valuing what money will buy. Mm. You have to have a value on actually saving money, serving people, saving money, investing money, and building, make it work for you. If you don't have a value on that, I guarantee you, it won't happen. I just did a program in Johannesburg a few days ago. I'm now in New Zealand right now. I was in Johannesburg on Sunday. Monday I was in Sydney, and Tuesday I was here in New Zealand. And in South Africa, I had a program on Sunday on finance. And I had everybody do the Demartini method for value determination, which is a very clear, concise mechanism to determine a person's values. When they got through, they were shocked. Because out of a room, 98% of the people in the room did not have money. That means building wealth, building a business, saving money, investing money, and building a fortune in their top 5 values. Only 2 people had it in the top 5, and only one of them had it in the top 3. And I showed them in the room, based on the placement, where they were in their wealth, and it was a magnificent correlation. So nobody could argue with it. They knew what I was teaching was true, and they saw very clearly that the people, the few people that valued it, one of them had about $2.5 million equivalent, US dollars, and the other one had about $7 million. And the one who had the highest income and the highest savings, investments, was the person who had the highest value on it. And the people that was in most debt had it not even on their list. It was a perfect correlation.
But how do you find that right balance though? Because there seems like a lot of people, the power of money. I mean, money has some power, no? And then if you focus on it, then you want to accumulate, and there is this. I mean, then it becomes your main focus, no? How do you find that right balance between all this?
Well,
because otherwise, it's never enough.
Well,
it's never enough.
Well, but the thing is, you got to realize that nothing of the senses will ever satisfy the soul. That's just a nature of the beast. William James' father, Henry James, taught that. So the idea that there's never enough, well, so is your affection from your boyfriend. You'll never get enough of it. So is doing a service in your business. You'll never be able to provide enough of it. So is your physical fitness and keeping in shape. You'll never get enough of it. So is having conversations socially with people. You'll never get enough of it. So we don't want to impose an unrealistic expectation on that area of life different than any other area of life. Mm-hmm. Because the reality is all areas of our life we have a desire to continue to expand, and there's no end to it. As the Buddha says, no desire will ever be completely satisfied. You go on and satisfy one, you go on the next one. Mm-hmm. And to try to rid yourself of all desire is only idiocy. Because the desire to get rid of desire is a desire. You'll never get rid of it. So you got to understand that the value of money is enormous. I don't spend my whole life focusing on money. I dedicate my life, as you know, to teaching and researching and sharing with people. But I also have enough knowledge about what money is to know that I could not reach people by the billions now if I didn't appreciate money. Because I don't get in the positions and the opportunities unless I do both. So you can't serve the world to its maximum potential trying to avoid economics. It's foolishness. So you want to be able to master it all. And I am a firm believer, and I teach in my Breakthrough Experience program, how to empower all 7 areas of life. And I'm absolutely certain this can be done. I'm doing it. I'm watching it. And I'm teaching my students how to do it. So you can actually not have to completely absorb yourself in making money and be very fortunate. But you do have to have a value on money. And the higher it is, the more you'll make. But you can't do it at the expense of other areas.
And the more you're at service of others, that's a key component, isn't it?
See, spirituality, it's time to break the fantasy and delusion that people have in the New Age movement about spirituality.
Yeah.